What's going on, guys? It's DG here, and today I'm bringing you guys another video talking more in depth about how I go about buying used gear. So last week I put out a video briefly touching on why I buy used gear, and today I wanted to actually dive in and show you exactly step by step how I go about buying it. If you didn't get a chance to watch the last video that I made, go ahead and check that out. I'll link that in the description below. But anyways, there are a few places that I like to buy used gear. It's Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, and I also buy from rental companies like Lens Rentals and Lens Authority. So I'm going to show you a little screen recording of how I go about making offers and finding the best deals on cameras, and also how to make sure that I'm not paying too much for the used gear. So like I said, I'm going to jump into Facebook Marketplace first, and I'm going to use Canon as an example. Let's go to Canon EOS R. If you don't know how to get to Facebook Marketplace, you just go to Facebook and then you find this little icon right here. It says Marketplace, and then you can search any camera, and also you can change where you're at, your actual location. So I'm near Atlanta, so Atlanta, you can also change the radius. So you don't have a car and you want to go less than 10 miles, you can change it to 10. I usually leave it all the way up to 100. That's actually my listing. Anyways, let's go look for some Canon EOS Rs. Right here we got one with the 24-70 for $2,400. Not too bad. One thing I always do is go to B&H. Let's check Canon EOS R. Let's see the retail value here. So it looks like it is $17.99 brand new. So let's see, this one's not a great example. Let's find another one real quick. Right here, boom, $1,500. Like new, Canon EOS R will include the lens for $2,500. So that's the Canon 24-70. I know it's a pretty expensive lens. It's got the adapter here, and here's the camera body. I've actually talked to this guy. I'm talking to him right now. He's trying to get $1,500 for the body. So like I said, if I come back here, it's $17.99 brand new, so it's about $300 cheaper. But for me, I'm trying to resell the camera, so it's not really a good deal for me. So I actually offered him $1,000. He said that was too low. So now I'm telling him my price is $1,200. I'm actually going to show you the live chat right here. This is another guy. So this is funny that I'm actually doing this right now and working on a deal at the same time. So he's saying, let's see, where was it? I said I could maybe come up to $1,200 if they don't buy. I have cash and can come to you. Thanks. He said, I'll let you know. Are you an ATL? Blah, blah, blah. Came down. So I'm trying to press him a little bit harder right now. I said, would you be able to meet today to sell the camera? When will you find out if the other guy wants it? Because he said another guy already offered him $1,500. I said, I can't do that. I can do $1,200 max. And that's really because I just need to sell it for a little bit more. And if I buy it for $1,500, that doesn't give me a lot of room to sell the camera. But I have George over here asking about the camera because he actually messaged me on one of my old posts. And a lot of times whenever I sell a camera, I leave the post up. Just in case I get another Canon EOS R, I can always look back at the people that inquired about it and make sure that I don't forget about them. So right here he was asking about the grip, but I already sold that part. But then I asked him, would you be interested in another body? I said $1,500. He said I would. What's the shutter count? Right now I don't know the shutter count, so I asked this guy if he could tell me. He asked if there's any drops or damages. I said nope, looks like new, works like new, mainly used for video. Mainly because this is what this guy over here is telling me, Bo. He said, solid, what's your availability today? I'm kind of busy today, so I'm trying to push him to tomorrow just so I can make sure I can go pick up the camera. He's saying today is the only day for him, so he's coming from Birmingham, and he does not mind driving to Lawrenceville. So that's why I got to push pressure on Bo over here, trying to get the camera for $1,200. If I can buy it for $1,200, I can sell it today for $1,500. So to me, that's a good deal. But anyways, I didn't want to go too deep into my actual deals. I was just really wanting to show you what I can find and how I find it. So anytime I'm traveling, I always check on Facebook. Like I said, I go to LA a lot, so let's go check in LA. Boom. So let's do the same thing just for the example here. Right here we have one, $14.95. So if I was in California, I could pick this one up for $14.95. Again, that's still not a lot of room for me to make profit, but if I was just buying the camera for personal use, it wouldn't be a bad deal. So you can also find, see, R5. But like I said, always go check what is the actual retail. So it's $38.99 brand new. After tax, you're gonna be looking at like $4,200. So this actually isn't that bad of a deal. That's about $300 to $500 cheaper after tax. So yeah, Facebook Marketplace is a good way to buy used cameras. Here's another one, Lens Authority. This is another place that I buy cameras. It's basically the sister company to Lens Rentals. Lens Rentals is a rental company and they actually sell their gear too. But let's talk about Lens Authority first. Let's do the same example, Canon EOS R. Boom, 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 boom. I don't see any for sale, but let's check just real quick. 5D Mark IV. I bought a few 5Ds on here, and this is a good place to buy because they always test all their gear, they always clean their gear, and they're very honest about the quality and the condition of the gear. So right here you can see on Lens Authority they have a rating system from very good to meh. Right here we have the shutter count at less than 60,000 for 1890, which isn't bad. Let's go back to B&H. 5D Mark IV. And like I said, I'm just using Canon as an example, but you can do this with any camera gear. $24.99. Let's come back here. So yeah, you're saving $600 already just by buying it used. So down here you can also check what comes in the box, the cosmetics. It says body shows moderate wear, heavier on the underside. Top LCD shows moderate wear, main LCD screen shows light wear. Shows the performance. So like I said, you can come in here, you got very good, good, meh. I've never actually bought one in this range, but I have bought cameras that were good, and if you come down, it kind of says the same on the cosmetics. But I will tell you that they rate their cameras very hard. So even if it has just a tiny little scratch, it's going to be pretty good quality. I've bought some in the good range, and honestly, whenever I bought it, it looked brand new to me. It's Lens Authority. Let's go over to Lens Rentals. So this is a rental company, Canon EOS R. So with this, you can actually rent the camera and try it out. This one's $88 for the 7-day rental. But also if you look right here, it says interested in purchasing. Let's click that. And they have this lens rental keeper system. And basically you can buy the gear that you rented as it says, including a credit towards the purchase price for a portion of your rental fees. Try it, then buy it. So right here it shows you the estimate for the camera is anywhere from $13.74 to $17.95. But like I said, here's Lens Authority, that is the sister company. So pretty much anything that Lens Rentals has rented out enough times for them to make their money, they give it to Lens Authority and they sell everything through that company. But you can actually purchase gear that you've rented. So I've done this in the past. I rented a Canon C200 battery and also a lens for the C200. I ended up liking the lens a lot, so I reached out. You can basically just contact them somewhere on here. Let's see, help. Place order, keeper right here, boom, keeper. And then it'll tell you some more information, and then you can also contact support if you want to purchase something and get an estimate. So that is another way that you can find some good used gear. If you go to Adorama.com, you can go to the used section right here. Let's go to mirrorless. Let's see, brand. Doesn't look like they have any Canons for sale. But let's just go to Sony real quick. We got the, I was gonna see if they had a A7 III. I've had a few A7 IIIs in the past. It's a pretty good camera for a pretty good price. Doesn't look like they have those, but just for instance, Say I wanted to get the A7C, that's the compact version of the A7 III. They have a 28 to 60 millimeter with it. So again, come back to B&H, Sony A7C 28 to 60. So this is basically the kit lens. Okay, so this one's $2,100. So this isn't the best deal. I wouldn't buy this. This is not a good buy. It's only $100 cheaper. Not sure why they're doing that, but most of the time whenever you look, you can actually find a way better deal. I usually just use Adorama used equipment as a way to price lenses, price cameras. I don't ever usually buy from here. You can do your research. There's one other place. Let's go to Craigslist real quick. I've kind of shied away from using Craigslist because I've had more success with Facebook Marketplace. Again, you can go through here, find your city and state. Let's go here, Atlanta. Let's put in Canon EOS R. So here's one. If I'm just looking for the body, 1350. Canon RF lens mount, not bad, not bad. I know that's a $100 piece of equipment. Let's put EF to RF lens mount. Yeah, so it's a $100 mount. Back to the EOS R, that's $17.99, so pretty much $1,900. You can get this one for $1,350. And if I was buying, I always offer less. Mainly because a lot of these people, they buy cameras, they expect to use them, and they just sit on a shelf because they realize that they're not really cut out for filmmaking or photography. They thought they would be able to buy this camera, and half the people don't even know how to use it. So that's why, like, if you look at this one, super clean. This thing looks brand new. I don't see any scratches, hardly any dust. You can see a little dust right here, but you always want to check the shutter count. That's not the shutter. So one of my first questions I would ask her, you know, what did you use the camera for? How long have you had it? What's the shutter count? Has it ever been dropped? Those are some of the main questions I always ask. If you don't know what shutter count is, we can go right here. What is the shutter life on Canon EOS R? Boom, right here it'll tell you. 200,000 actuations. So if you find a camera that has about 10,000 or less, that's, to me, that's like new. That's very good condition. They haven't used the camera very often, and sometimes you can even find them with 50,000 that are still pretty good condition. This says 200,000, but that does not mean the camera's going to be dead whenever it hits the 200,000 actuations. I actually know a guy that bought a 5D Mark IV from me. Let's see. For shutter life. Yeah, so 150,000 actuations on the Mark IV. He told me his was up to like 430,000 and the shutter was still working just fine. The only problem was some of his buttons weren't working. But that's pretty much it. That is my system for going about buying used gear. If I went too fast or if you have any more questions, just put them in the comments below. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Always look for used gear. Make sure you check the price with the retail value and always offer less. That's one of the biggest things. So let's go back to Facebook real quick so I can check. So he hasn't seen it yet. You can check this little bubble right here. If it's got his photo like this, you can see right here. If it's not there, he hasn't seen it yet. Let's see what this guy says. Don't mind driving to Lawrenceville. It's the only time he'll be around. I'm gonna say not sure if I can make it happen today, but I'll let you know. What time will you be in town? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Buy used. So there you have it. That's a little bit of the behind the scenes about how I go about buying camera gear. Again, I really think buying used cameras is a good way to save some money when upgrading your equipment, and you can also potentially make some good money on the side. So if you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you have any other topics that you'd like me to cover, put that in the comments below, and subscribe to my channel for more content coming soon. Peace. So this is just a disclaimer. The deal that I was working on whenever I was showing you guys how I go about buying used gear, it actually did not go through. The guy that I was trying to buy the camera said someone else wanted to buy it with the lens, so he was going to make more money that way. And that makes sense to me. I would do the same thing if I was in his shoes. So the buyer, like I said, he was going to be in town just for the day, so I kind of missed out on that sale. But with that being said, I had 2 or 3 other people hit me up on my ads about old EOS Rs that I had listed. So I still found a couple other ones that I can buy for a good price around the $1,200 to $1,300 range. So with that being said, just keep going. You know, you're not going to sell everyone and you're not going to be able to buy everyone that you see, but make sure that you always stay focused and keep pushing, because you're going to eventually make that deal and you're going to be happy when you make those couple extra $100 in a few minutes. See you guys.